Okay, so today we're going to do the blind stitch or the invisible stitch. And this is how you do it. First, you tie your knot, single thread. This is a single thread, okay? Then you iron it and you make sure that you draw your line at a 1/2 inch, fold it over, iron it, fold it over again, iron it. That's our little cheat so that you don't have to use straight pins. Now we're going to hide our knot, first stitch right here. See, my knot is underneath it. I'm going to tuck it. Now in the blind stitch, you go directly below this one and you do it sideways. And it's a tiny stitch. So this is our first one. Oops. That's a lesson. Make sure everything's out your way. Don't be clumsy like me. See how it's a vertical straight stitch. Now I'm going to go about a thumb's length apart, and I'm going to go only at the top one, tiny at the top, and then you pull it. Whenever you pull it, you don't see the thread. And remember, since we're learning, we're using thread that shows so you can see your mistakes. So I'm going to go directly below it, and I'm going to go sideways like this, and then I'm going to pull it through. And it's a little tiny vertical stitch. Thumb's length apart. You're going to repeat the process. All the way through. Now once you get about 3 stitches done, you want to check your work to make sure that it's tiny stitches. So I turn it over and it is tiny stitches. Now you see little tiny black dots. That's all that you see. Whenever you make a mistake, the stitch will be bigger and you'll be able to see it. You want to go about a thumb's length and keep on. The reason we use this blind stitch or invisible stitch is because you use it for dress clothes. It's stitches that you don't want seen. So whenever it's often used with a men's suit jacket, their collars, not their collars, their little cuffs at the bottom. That's where you use it. Women's, a prom dress or a formal dress, you'll see it there too. Now if you notice right here, I made a mistake. I went not directly below it, but off to the side. And so we're hoping that doesn't show too much. The stitches are for formal clothing. And you will cinch it off at the end once you get to it, just like you did the slip stitch. And just like you did the button, you're going to come underneath. Let's say you run out of thread in the middle. Well, you're going to cinch it just the same way you're going to cinch it at the end. All the same. And you keep on going the whole way through. That was a mistake right there because I saw it. That stitch was way too big, so. Okay, so I'm at the end. I'm going to do one more stitch and then we're going to tie the knot and we'll be done with this little video. You want to go all the way to the end, right here. one's going to be a little bit harder to do because there's not much room. Okay, now you see how you have those little threads, you pull it through. Now I'm going to come to this last one right here, and this is the cinching process right here. Come through. And just like the other ones, I'm going to pull it with my fingernail. I'm going to do it again. You always want to make sure you tie a knot, because if you don't tie a knot when you do this, especially hand stitching, it's not like needle stitching, not like sewing machine stitching. If you don't tie the knot, then you didn't actually do it. Okay, so now we're going to check. You see it here, and now you're going to check on this side. See, this is where I made that mistake, and it was a big stitch, and you can see it right here. I made another one right here. They're bigger stitches, but these other ones are little tiny ones. So anytime you see a big stitch, you know that's how you messed up. Okay, this, you're going to do all 4 sides for doing the blind stitch.